Good afternoon, friends. I've been told I speak very fast. I think when you pay more than ₹1 lakh for every minute, aaj kam aayega. So basically, we are a consumer intelligence platform, which basically is consumer insights at the speed of a search engine. With three co-founders. Aman is based out of US, and he's been handling our Fortune 100 clients who invest $25,000 a month on our platform as SaaS fees. Gautam is the chief architect. He's the person who's built the entire platform. My job has been to provide a little bit of finance for the company as well as building the non-US sales market for us. So, this WhatsApp I received yesterday. It was an interesting WhatsApp that we target a lot of companies, target the customers based on demographics, a little bit of psychographics, but these two people, just to give you a concept of Ozzy Osbourne, he actually bit off a head of a bat, probably created COVID in the past by doing that. So I think the biggest pain point I think most companies face today is that they have a lot of customer data, but they know their customer only from the point of view of what the customer does with them in terms of transactions. If I were to ask you, right, what cuisine do they prefer, what sport do they like cats or dogs, do they like wine or beer, genre as horror as a genre, comedy as a genre, this information is completely blank. None of us know this information. But the interesting part is the ecosystem of advertising. Google tells you what people are thinking. Meta tells you what people are doing, Amazon tells you what people are buying, Spotify tells you what people are listening. Imagine that if you could tap into the APIs of all these platforms on a real-time basis, it could empower all the decisions we take as an organization every day. So what we did was we built an engine. It's a single omnibar, which allows you to query what your customers are thinking, doing, and buying. So I think the two challenges in enterprise platforms. The first challenge is most enterprise platforms take 6 months to 12 months, 24 months to implement. Any person who's done a CDP or implementation of Adobe knows that that's the process, right? Our platform goes live in 5 minutes. You link your Facebook Business Manager to our platform, press enter, and voila, you can start analyzing all the custom audiences you already have on your custom audiences. Secondly, 95% of the features of the platform works from this one single bar. So anybody knows how to use Google can start querying it. And now with AI, what we've done is you can just query natural language. You can say, how do I increase my market penetration, reduce my cost of acquisition? It'll go and tell you how to, which reports to run, and give you the results. So two things we do. We give you insights about your customers, and we believe if it's not actionable, it's not an insight. Secondly, all this should lead to acquiring and retaining more profitable customers. This one slide almost summarizes our entire company. Most companies start with first-party data. They've been uploading this data on the platforms like Google and Facebook for remarketing for the last 10 years. Keep the same practice, don't change anything in that. What we will do is we'll unpack that information and give you psychographics of your customers. But then what happens is, because we are enriching data on a cohort basis, it's very, very useful for activating it. Most companies have tried to enrich data on a one-to-one basis, but all the activation has been taken away. So now what happens is we enrich this data on a cohort basis, so you can activate it. So let me give you one example. You can use it for creative media buying, but let's give you one example of influencer selection. So what happens is when you currently choose influencers, you choose them based on number of followers they have, what genre of content they create. But what if you take your million best customers, take an audience of that, take the influencer, take the audience of the influencer, and then find an overlap between the two, and choose the influencer with whom you have the highest overlap with your high-value customers. And then what you can do is, an influencer's post only goes to 1% organic reach. So if you have 5 million followers, only 50,000 people will see that post. But what if your overlap is 500,000? You can boost the influencers post targeting that overlap. So we'll give you psychographics that you can target, and that will give you significantly better values. I was talking to somebody yesterday, Policy Bazaar spends crores of rupees on influencer management. They can easily increase it by 20-30% ROI just by doing this one thing, by choosing influencers and boosting them based on the overlap. In the back end, we've done very interesting things, right? There are 1.2 million users of Facebook. They've been mapped to 120,000 categories on programmatic, 200,000 categories on YouTube, 17,000 on TikTok, 600 on Snap. And we also done global mapping of audiences. An audience that like cricket in India will like Formula 1 in Dubai, will like ice hockey in Canada, we like soccer in UK. So anybody who's taking their high value customers in one country, we can tell you what they will look like in other countries or other zip codes. So one of our customers is using it for opening new stores. So it helps you in planning and activating media. It helps you in coming out with brainstorming of creative output. It helps you in brainstorming for content, but also it helps you choose influencers. So what we believe is it gives you a common currency of what your most profitable customers look like. So everybody gets this North Star, which is direction they need to move in, right? All the departments can align themselves towards that North Star of most profitable customers. It becomes a sounding board for any decision you take. You want to choose an influencer, sounding board. You want to choose a partnership with a data provider, again a sounding board. Every time you take a decision, this should become a sounding board that you use. Lastly, we empower this on a SaaS fee basis. So it's given to you and your ecosystem of partners. So we have clients who are giving it to their market research agency, their consulting companies, their creative agencies, their media buying agency, their new product development teams, anybody who's in the ecosystem gets access to the platform, and all the reports everybody downloads get stored on a single cloud, and then you can use AI to query the reports and get results in natural language. So all the reports over a period of time will get stored because every single ecosystem of partners will be downloading these reports. We have a Fortune 100 company who's we improved their ROAS by 22%. They are people who spend billions of dollars on advertising, so it was a significant result we got. They have 60 country operations, 6 divisions. We just were working with one division at $25,000 a month with them. We have a life insurance company, which is Fortune 100 life insurance company. We doubled their agent acquisition, quadrupled the number of leads they get. There is a diabetes and insulin monitoring company. We found an interest called human nails, which is impossible to find otherwise. And that human nails interest gave them conversions because type 1 diabetics, generally their nails turn yellow. And these are the early acquisitions. We acquire them, then they stay with them for tens of years. And now they are using that insight to actually target other interests, which are early symptoms of other diseases. A client of like Metro Shoes is using this for opening new stores by targeting zip codes. Lastly, I'll give you one example, right? So Metro Shoes works with Crocs, and Crocs have it created creative insight. This thing is very disturbing, huh? This drone. So basically, the creative insight was that people who like, let's say they like Crocs, they like sports, but the creative insight that came up was for after sport relaxation. So it was amazing that we were able to come out with this insight that you carry an extra pair of Crocs in your sports bag. Everybody who plays sports in that room could easily identify that this was an amazing insight. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to show you some runs that I've done for some of the brands out here. Okay, so what I did was that I just put jockey as a keyword. It told me. I hope you're pausing the timer. Okay, so what I've done is I've just taken a few brands and I've just done these runs. So yesterday I was talking to the person with jockey. I just put jockey. It seems like the highest consumption of jockey is actually coming from India, and then it's Australia and Sweden, Ireland, and the United States. If I look at it, Marks and Spencer, this is psychographics of people who are consuming Marks and Spencer in India. 53% female, stages of life, cities they come from, other interests they have, the brands they choose, the habits they have, etc. Then I've done just for Akasa Air, Belson is here, where people who are searching for Akasa Air, what are the things they're searching for? There is a HLOK service, which is basically if you let go of your seat, you can get a new flight, which people are searching for in Akasa Air. What's your policy on that? Hope you can answer that. And basically, it can create a top funnel, mid funnel, bottom funnel, depending on if you want an awareness campaign or you want a conversion campaign. It allows you to then create video programmatic ads on URL and videos and keywords just by putting any intent that you desire. It creates a storyboard. It allows you to create content types, which can range from blog outlines, search ads, social ads, etc. All on the fly. It can tell you a trend and tell you a trend. So Subhajit was talking about identifying a trend. It identifies a trend, tells you then that you can use this trend for basically creating a creative. So it's like almost dunk in the dark, moments you only created, with putting a few thousand rupees every day on the budget. It creates a creative brief, again for that trend, Coca-Cola versus India versus Kuwait match, content types, campaign outline, and all this is done in tens of seconds, right? It tells you social media listening wise what people are saying about any intent. It is for upstock and it's positive, negative, neutral, but it happens live. It's not you enter it and then later you get it. You can do an old app run with anything. So you want to choose a brand ambassador. Jay Kishan is here. We were talking about they wanted to choose a brand ambassador. They took their category, they took the 3 brand ambassadors and saw which one had the highest overlap. It could be cricket and a category, and then you can select the brand ambassador accordingly. You can do a contrast between 2 things. So you and your competitor. So in this case, I took Myntra and Jockey for some reason. But people who are interested in Myntra have a lot more interest in technology, while Jockey, they have much more interest in beauty. So very clearly, there is a psychographic contrast between the 2 interests of Jockey and Myntra. Then what we've done is, this is the custom audience. So if you have so the magic of the platform comes alive when you have your own custom audience. So all the tens of thousands of segments you created, you click on it, and this is the kind of returns, like result you get from your custom audiences. You can also get recipes, but you can ask a question. So you can say, how do I increase market penetration? How do I reduce the CAC? It'll tell you which report to download, and it'll do it live in front of you. And further, what it does is that all the previous queries that you have and all the reports you've downloaded, you can just say, how is Mochi audience different from Metro audience? It'll tell you the rationale and tell you all the reports it has used to actually create this rationale. So imagine over a period of time, you have tens of thousands of reports stored. And all these reports, the AI can query and give you answers. These answers could be psychographic differences, how to enter a new market, how do I change, and how do I work against a certain competitor, everything can be done. So what I would recommend everybody is that the magic of the platform comes alive when you use it for your own data. The first time you see your data, that's the time when the magic of the platform comes alive, because you've never seen the psychography of the customers, what they look like. So I would like just Jay Kishan to share 30 seconds on what his experiences been when he started working with us in ITC. Exactly 30 seconds. I know my time is up.
Yeah, thanks, Vivek. So me and Vivek actually go back 20 years, and both of us had the first AB's Gold way back in 2003 for Real Good Chicken. So as far as this consumer AI piece is concerned, we have actually been working with Vivek, and we have seen it kind of help in decision transformation across all levels in the organization. The kind of consumer segments and the lookalike data that comes in, it's genuinely